All right, so this is going to be a recorded meeting for all future players, attendees, and judges. Today's topic is maximizing exposure. So today we're going to talk about maximizing your exposure with the skin games. Throughout my years, I've seen certain people, brands, etc., use the skin games as a platform in unique ways that resulted in big impacts in their lives and careers, and other people that didn't necessarily have that. um, there are a handful of mindsets, actions, and game plans that help to maximize the output of your participation. And I've invited everyone here today because they have considerable experience with this topic. Each of them have taken the competition year and made it something immensely more. I have seen people leave with new jobs, influencers, educators, features in magazines, newspapers, and that's just a few things. I've invited these experts to share their experience to help you to maximize your experience. We'll start with Aggie. We'll go to Stephen. I know they both have, it's pretty late for Aggie, and Stephen has another commitment going on. Then Kelly, Dontel, Dominic, Tiffany, Carol, and Chelsea. They'll speak for about 5 to 10 minutes about the things that made their experience phenomenal. So please introduce yourself, Aggie, and I'm excited to hear from you.
Hi everyone. I'm so thrilled to be here today with the Skin Games community. My name is Agi Singh and I'm incredibly proud to be the winner of the Skin Games 2023-24 and even more honored to now serve as a judge for 2025, and I just got the email 2026 as well. Um, this journey has transformed my career, I would say. When I entered the Skin Games, I knew I wanted to challenge myself professionally, but I had no idea how much this will also change me on my personal level. It gave me the confidence, the structure, and the global stage. And what I would say the most important, it gave me also the voice within the community. Um, so I would say in my career, everything is a content. My journey became a story. So through the competition, I learned the powerful lesson of everything is a content. So starting from video recording, my case studies, and the consultations. So all these moments became a part of the story that resonated with my clients and my followers as well. Um, so sharing those experiences not only brought me closer to my audience, but also made me a better therapist as well. And one thing what I would like to share with you is during the Skin Games, my book was also born. So this is something that I'm very proud of. So one of the most unexpected and beautiful outcomes of this journey. So I have captured all the before and afters, all my case studies within this book. And I would say every step of this journey started with saying yes. So, yes to applying, yes to filming content, yes to coming up and doing the Zoom calls online, which few years ago wouldn't be really possible for me. That was the biggest challenge for me to be in front of the camera and speak in front of the public as well. So the Skin Games has transformed that, and here I am. Recently, a few days ago, I ran my second masterclass, which is incredible. So again, 2 years ago, I would never dream of that, to actually be speaking in front of people and talking all things science behind the skins. And as you might know, all things baby cells, mama cells, and my simple analogies. So again, big thank you to the Skin Games for making this happen and supporting. So the most important thing is showing up, being visible, and supporting others as well. So thank you, the Skin Games, for being that platform that doesn't just reorganize skills. It celebrates the growth, the storytelling, and the community. Thank you.
Thank you. What is your book called?
Um, Overcoming Skin Conditions.
How do we buy it?
It's available on Amazon, but there are still a few more things that I would like to polish, but it can be purchased on Amazon now.
Oh, I'll definitely link it up in the newsletter. That's really
Thank
awesome.
you.
So, do you have a couple tips on creating a book and publishing it?
So the case study that I had ready for the skin games, that was a massive help because I already had the notes. And I have my editor as well. I found really good editor who helped me to organize and put the chapters together as well and go through the grammar also. As English is not my first language, so I needed that extra help to help me with grammar and just making it all beautiful.
That's amazing. And something I've noticed you, after competing, well, first of all, you've competed in several different competitions and you've won a lot of awards, but I've also seen you be picked up by news sources, magazine articles. Do you have any tips on that or any insight into that? Can you tell us
So when
more?
yes, so when I came back from the US the first time, I was approached by our local BBC. So that was a radio recording. It wasn't on television, but still quite impactful. So I was interviewed, and that can be seen on my social media as well. That was really exciting. There was an article as well in our local newspaper and that felt amazing as well. So um, it's great to be appreciated as well. And coming from a very small town here in the UK, this also feels so amazing to bring all these awards as well and just show off the experience. It just feels very, very emotional at the time.
Yeah, it's incredible to watch too. You can feel that emotion when I'm watching everything. You're on the other side of the ocean and I see, these wonderful things unfold and it's really incredible. Thank you so much. I know it's really
Thank
late. I
you.
really appreciate you here tonight.
Thank
And I look
you.
forward to seeing you at the Skin Games
Thank you. I'll see you
2026
soon.
in Texas. All right, we have Mr. Steven. I'm gonna take off your, hold on one second. Hold on, I'm gonna remove you real quick. All right, Steven.
Hey everybody. Sorry I'm not in my I'm in dad zone today. We had a late notice of a baseball practice tonight, but the skin games and my wife, of course, and her nudging of me means more than anything. Of course, got to make her happy. And of course, the skin games is my life and my passion. And so excuse the baseball hat and the shirt, but I love the skin games. I love what Aggie just said about being it 2 years ago she couldn't have dreamed being where she was, and she thanked the skin games for that. And for me, that's sort of what it all boils down to. Is I hear that time and time again from people that claim that the skin games changed the trajectory of their career and that reinvigorated them in terms of their career path and things like that. And that's why I love what I do. And I think one of the things to consider for people that are very successful, whether it's their first year, second, third, whatever. Sometimes it takes a year. Honestly, I've seen it a number of times take a year for people and sponsors to go, oh, I didn't quite realize what to expect, or I didn't realize you guys had so much to offer, or I didn't realize that it was this deep and there were this many layers to it. And that's really the truth of the skin games is there are a lot of different layers, right? So to maximize your exposure, which is what Taylor wanted me to speak on, in regards to players and sponsors, I think it's really important to understand everything that the Skin Games has to offer. This is not just a competition. This is not just a sign up, do your case study, and show up to the event. For sponsors, this is not just, oh, I'm paying to pop up a booth once a year and hopefully sell a bunch of products. This is, as a matter of fact, it's opposite of that. And we don't want it to be anything like those things. And so a lot of times we see people who are either confused by it before they sign up, or after they sign up, they don't ask questions when they have when there's something that they don't know. So there's two things I want to really harp on. One is, if you don't know, ask. Me and Jennifer and Taylor are super open-minded. If there's something you guys need, I will probably do it. Oh, and we will find a way to do it. And I think that's not something you're going to get everywhere. I am regularly on calls with potential sponsors or sponsors who tell me that it's amazing that they're able to get the directors of an event as easily as they're able to get to us and speak to us. Like, I'm able to hop on a Zoom and willing to hop on a Zoom with any sponsor, any player, anytime that I'm available to make sure that your skin games experience is seamless as possible. So first thing is, if you don't know or you're curious, ask. Me, Taylor, Jennifer, one of us on the Skin Games team, Kelly, will get back to you with an answer as soon as we can so that it's easy for you to understand and so that you know about all the things you can take advantage of. You are not in your Skin Games journey alone. You have so much help. There are a number of sponsors on this call too that I know that literally, like, if you would call them and ask them about the Skin Games, they would be able to answer almost all of your questions because they're so passionate about what we do. Now, you may, and so some of you may be asking. I know that there are a lot of people on this call who already know the answers to these questions, but there's going to be a lot of people who ask this and ask the question, well, what all do you have to offer? Well, the number one thing I would say is that I have never heard of somebody diving full well, like both feet into the Skin Games and not gaining exposure and recognition and an added social media presence. This goes for sponsors too. How do you do that? Engage. And when I say engage, and this is how I learned, right? Like, I knew nothing about skincare or the Skin Games when I first started. I literally was on the Skin Games Instagram, and every post I saw, I would like it, I would comment on it, I would go click the people who were involved with the Skin Games the most. I didn't know any of these people at the time, and I would learn because I wanted to. You got to be willing to do this, obviously, but I wanted to know more. I wanted to learn about who was supporting the Skin Games, and I wanted to find sponsors for the event. So I literally did my own research, and people that liked us, I went and liked them back. People that commented on us, I went and commented on them back. Like, I have my feeling in life in general is you get what you give, and I think that you get double what you give in life. Like, I get double what I give. Like, I try my very hardest in life to give back. I spent a lot of my life taking and not being responsible and not being the person that was there to lend the helping hand. Today, it's the opposite for me. My life is all about giving back. That's why I love the Skin Games. I see what it does for people's careers, and the people who are the most successful are the ones there asking questions, approaching people, and it's not. And I think it's tough too, because there's introverts and there's extroverts. Somebody like me, it's super easy to go out of my way and have a conversation with somebody. And I know that's not the case for everybody, right? It's not always comfortable, and it's really not comfortable getting on camera, doing 2-minute check-ins on video, having your work judged in front of your peers, being a sponsor who may be very well just used to a show where you go and pop up your booth, and then suddenly something like the Skin Games is in your back pocket where you can contact Taylor and get in the newsletter. We can do a live, we can do a webinar, we can do we can post for you on literally on command. Send me what you want posted, what day you want it posted, and we're going to do that for you. Like, you have a show coming up, let us know. We want to promote that. Like, there's not a whole lot of that goes on in the industry. And then, of course, the cherry on top for me is the event, right? So there's everything that leads up to the event all year, whether you're a player or a sponsor. We're going to promote you. You're going to be on the website. We're going to do as much as we can for you in terms of social media promotion and things like that. But then at the event, there's a whole new ball game, right? Like, there is so many different things, whether you're just an attendee or not, that you can take advantage of. I talked to, and she wouldn't mind me name dropping her today. I talked to Sonia Altamura, the skin lady, today, and she said, and she had never been to the Skin Games, and she's like, "Look, I just left another show. I'm on my way to ICES, and I can tell you, Stephen, that in all my years, like, I was never able to just walk up to somebody and, like, CEOs, brand owners, estheticians, I was never able to do it on such an intimate level and a personal level and feel connected to everybody as I was at the Skin Game. So for me, that rings so true in my heart as in terms of what I hear year after year after year. Engage, connect, ask questions. If you don't understand something or you want something, let's talk about it. Like, there is never like, it's very rare that I give somebody just a no, right? Like, it's usually, let me go check with Jennifer or Taylor on that or somebody else, and let's try to work that out. If it is something that may be beyond our control or our reach, like, let's try and figure that out. Let's get outside of the cookie cutter. Let's get out, think outside the box and get it done. And I think that's what makes us unique is we're family owned, we're family run. We really, really care. And we have an event in our 10th year now that's gaining more and more popularity every year. And I think it's because of the authenticity. I think it's because of the community. And I think it's because of the people behind the scenes and the players. This goes, and I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about you, the players and the sponsors who are connecting too. I can't tell you how many brands connected to Skin Games. It's not even about the players connecting with brands. It's other brands now connecting with other brands. This brand and this brand who I thought, no, I never thought they would work together. They're working together. They're collaborating. They're doing webinars. They're doing all sorts of things now that I think are really great for the industry. They may even be competitors sometimes, quote unquote competitors, and they're still collaborating and they're still rooting each other on. I think that's rare in this world, and I think that that is really what makes the Skin Games unique.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you very much. And we do post on the newsletter. We have lots of events and updates that you can engage as well. Hold on, I don't see where the noise is coming from. All right. Thank you so much. You can get back to dad mode now. We appreciate you.
Love you guys.
Love ya. All right, so we're gonna have Ms. Kelly Wolcott up next. Let's see, let me get you on the spotlight. All right. Hey.
Wednesday. I cannot believe the week's halfway done. Golly. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Kelly Walcott. I have been a licensed esthetician since 2000. I'm a Sodesco diplomat, ITEC, and NCEA lifetime certified. I also serve as director of judges for the Skin Games. This will be my, I think it's fifth year. It's fifth year, sixth year. I don't know. Anyway, I have been involved with the Skin Games since 2019, and I started as a player. And I remember making a commitment when I graduated from aesthetic school back in 1999 to learn something new every single year. And the Skin Games came across my world, into my world in 2018 as a Facebook post. And I've shared this with a couple of people. Most of you may have heard this, some of you may not have, but I'm going to share it again. And I remember I was sitting on my couch and I was doom scrolling, and the Skin Games came across my feed. And I remember telling my husband, hey, there's this international competition for estheticians. And he said, oh, you should do it. You totally kill that, Kelly. And I remember thinking there's absolutely no way I would ever do anything like that. So I purposefully let the deadline pass. I purposefully let everything go and chose to ignore it. The next year, I'd moved to all the way across to the West Coast and was rebuilding my client base with a new business. And the Skin Games came across my feed again. And I remember going, no, I cannot believe this is on my feed again. And one of my mentors tagged me in this post, and I connected with her and we talked about it. And she said, I really think you should compete. So I did. And I cannot tell you how that one little step into this event and this organization has absolutely changed everything about my professional and personal life. The Skin Games just really changed everything about how I work on clients, completing those case studies. I was in California during that time, and we weren't allowed to work, so I had to finish my case studies virtually and Zoom. I mean, I work in a treatment room. I don't do technical stuff. I do now. So I just completed my case studies. We went to Palm Springs, and the connections that I made with the other players, I don't even want to call them competitors. They were players, they are colleagues, they're my friends, was just amazing. And it just completely allowed me to become something other than someone who works in my treatment room that's dark, and made me not feel alone. I love being part of this movement that's changing and elevating our profession. It's meeting people and understanding that I'm not alone. That was the most amazing thing for me. I made connections with other estheticians, like I said. I've been invited because of that to speak at schools, and I've written articles for industry magazines, created education classes. I teach in person and online now. I learned so much from everybody, players, sponsors, my judges, everybody. I've been able to accomplish things that I never thought I'd be able to do. And it's stretched me beyond all my boundaries, everything. It has just stretched me. And one of the things that I think we don't understand when we start working with the skin games, whether you're as a player or a sponsor or a vendor, is how to utilize it and how to say yes to literally everything. It's like Aggie said, saying yes. It'll lead to opportunities that go beyond a competition or a live event or the judge panel or the judges panel, anything. There's so much that you can do. And I think the way to do it is just ask, how can I be utilized? How can I participate? How can I do more? How can I get involved? You get so much more by giving than you do by expecting things to just come to you. I've done things, like I said, I never dreamed I would do. I was a player. I was able to win awards when some of my case studies won awards. That was just, it's an honor. Then I was judged the next year and became director. And that has led to me becoming an industry contributor. I have a monthly column in Dermascope now for this entire year. And like I said, I'm an educator now, and I'm able to be mentored by other industry professionals and mentor others. I asked all of you to encourage other professionals to take this leap. We all need to help each other so that we can elevate our industry. Our profession has a voice, and I feel that it's so important for us to raise our voice and say that we are an important segment of the economic factors. We bring so much to other people's lives. Potential clients, how it's helped my own personal skincare business. They love knowing that I'm always doing things to become a better professional. They're engaged in my success and love benefiting from all the new techniques and products that I come back from this event, telling them about. And it also has helped me position myself as an expert in my local market. So I feel like claiming your accolades it's a hard thing to do, and it doesn't matter when you competed. If you competed like I did 5 years ago, or you competed last year and you still haven't taken advantage of your participation in this, claim them now. Take all that content that you created and start using it again. So, if you're a returning player, or you're a player turned judge, or you're a first time player, your participation holds weight. So include that in your bios, in your when you're out there networking in your local market, have it built into your bio when you're being introduced. It'll signal experience, expertise, and trust, and it provides so much opportunity for you to be celebrated as the professional that you are. And remember, all of this, we can use it for the entirety of our career. Our visibility equals credibility, and I think that that's what we all need. We all need to know that we are valuable and that we have something important to offer to each other and to our clientele and to our industry as a whole. And none of this would have ever happened had I not seen that Facebook pay post and then said yes to anything that came forward.
I love that, Kelly. And I think that, I mean, you said what other people have said already, like say yes to opportunities, ask questions. Those are really important. But I haven't heard people talk about like posting their accolades. And I see people do that, and I think it makes all the difference, whether you're a finalist, whether you've placed, whether you've competed, whether you're a judge. Those are all really important. And it's easy to think, oh, well, I just did this. But other people respect it. And in my personal experience, when I competed, I was so shocked. People weren't necessarily commenting or liking, but they were paying attention to my story, you know? And I thought people didn't care. I didn't think that. I didn't know how many people cared. Where I'd like go to the grocery store and someone said, wow, how did that People's Choice go? Or I saw that you went to XYZ state. How did that go? Or
Mhm.
wow, I've seen that you went from this position to this position. And you know, that content's really important. And just because you posted it once doesn't mean you can't post it again. You know, people don't aren't looking and trying to pay attention. You know, you can post that content all the time, which will thank you so much, Kelly. I'll unspotlight you. And I will bring up Dominic. All right, here you are. Please introduce yourself. We're very excited to have you.
Hi, everyone. I thought somebody else was going to go before me, but okay, I'm ready.
Oh, you're right.
Hi, everyone. Did you want to go back?
We're gonna go. We're gonna move forward
Okay,
with it. I'm sorry,
sure.
Dontel.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dominic Brandt. I'm a licensed master esthetician instructor for 2.5 years prior to opening my own solo practice. Also, a Sodesco diploma holder, and thanks to Kelly for inspiring me, NCEA certified. And I won Esthetician of the Year 2022-23. And when I competed, people are surprised to hear that, I knew I was leaving with something, but I didn't expect to win Esthetician of the Year my first round competing. So, with that said, I didn't have my mind prepped nor a plan prepped to best maximize that win. After I won, however, I did start working with the Skin Games as Director of Advanced Education. And that then led and inspired me to create my course and then later record how to prepare a winning case study by an esthetician of the year, which has been now used the past 2 years. And people have been applying that information and roadmap to their case studies and received really great feedback last year, which feels really good to give back. And then I've also become a coach for skin game competitors. Those are those who are independent, and then also those who are being sponsored by ProCell. But to get into how to maximize exposure, I think looking back at my story, it's really important for you before you say yes to the opportunities, before you start making connections, you need to know who you are. Okay. I've got several questions that I'm going to go over that I think is important for you all to ask yourself in preparation for the wins and the accolades that are going to come this year for you. So again, you need to know yourself. Who are you? When I think of who I am, aesthetics is my third career. I I was in the Air Force for 6 years, and then I worked for a Fortune 500 company for about 3 years. So, I'm an Air Force veteran. I'm a corporate girly. I love the corporate environment. I love analysis. I love process improvement, being a subject matter expert. And I really enjoyed being an instructor for 2.5 years to other estheticians. I like to help people in the background, but I don't like to be the face of the product, right? So that's an important question to ask yourself. Who am I? The next thing you should ask yourself is, what is my mission? When I have worked with the independent players, competitors, and then also with pro cell therapies, I let everyone know that, hey, look, my mission isn't for you to win. My mission is for you to become a better esthetician. By default, by being a better esthetician, you will win. But before you win, you need to be a better esthetician. If you're better, our industry is better, therefore I am better. The next question you should ask yourself before making the connections, before saying yes, is what kind of clients do you want to serve? So you have business to business, you have business to client, and then you can also say esthetician to esthetician, right? So before you say yes to an opportunity, does that allow you to serve the people that you want? You know, are you focused on growing your business, your own personal solo business? Are you more interested in becoming a brand ambassador, business to business? So know what direction you want to go to before you say yes. Next question is, what type of culture do you want to be a part of? When I think about the kinds of businesses that I want to work for and their culture, for me, if we're not improving what we did last year, I don't want to be there. I always want to be building on what we've done before. Okay, you know, we created this system. Let's see how it works, and now let's improve that one more time. So I want to be in an environment where improvement is part of the culture and that it's not shunned away. The last question that can help you maximize your exposure, before saying yes to the connection, saying yes to that job, is, what are your non-negotiables? For me, a non-negotiable, I'm not accepting anything that requires me to do social media. I just don't want to, and that's okay. Um, Obviously, a lot of us have used social media to get to where we are. The skin games in and of itself, we all found out of the skin games by Facebook or by Instagram. But that doesn't mean we have to stay there, right? And I know Dontel is going to go into all of the great benefits of social media and how it can definitely propel your business. But if it's not for you, like it's not for me, then that's okay, and accept that. Since I've won, I've done a lot of things in the background that nobody knows because I don't share it. So again, to maximize your exposure, first find the roadmap. Where are you headed? Why? What's your mission? Who are you? And what are your negotiables? What kind of culture do you want to work in? And who are the people you want to serve?
Awesome.
I hope that was helpful.
It was, and I can see that in all of your actions. You know how I remember there was a brand, oh my goodness, Bianca, and she told me she was in a class with you, and it was like the year before year of the Skin Games, and you said you're in your 5 year plan or in your X amount of year plan, you wanted to win the Skin Games. And within that year, you did it, and there's so many calculated moves and decisions. And I just think the world of you. So thank you for participating.
Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Skin Games.
Yes. All right. And I'm sorry, Dontel. Hold on, I'm pulling you up right now. Dontel is amazing. Can't wait for him to introduce himself to you.
Hey, how you doing, guys? I hope all is well. Before I get started, I just want to congratulate all of y'all because I seen all of y'all win. I seen how emotional all of y'all were. So I just want to clap it up for everybody on here. Y'all clap it up for each other, right? It's so powerful to, see the hard work get recognized. And I think that's the biggest thing. And so when it comes to creating content, we have to show our awards. We have to show the work we put in. We have to show our ups and downs and the struggles that we go through because a lot of people don't know. So if you don't show them, they don't know that you went through something to get to where you at. Right. And so we use content as a vehicle. And just like Dominique said, some people content ain't for them. It's okay, right? Do not feel forced to create content because you won't create it. If it ain't you, it's okay. And so what you do is you kind of team up with somebody that loves to be in front of the camera that could come and push the brand, right? Because we're in a day where our personal brand is everything. And what that means is you got people that does what you do. They do facials, they do waxing, they do all of these things. So what makes you different to the consumer? The biggest thing that makes you different is who you are. And so showing up who you are. And I always tell people like when you show up, don't have a on and off switch, right? Be you, the same person that you are off camera, be you on camera because it makes it way much easier. If you monotone, come on the camera monotone. If you got a lot of energy, come on the camera a lot of energy. But just come on representing you. Otherwise, you'll have a disconnect, right? And I know a lot of you guys, just to win, you had to prepare so much. You had to lose time with your family. You had to boost yourself up. You had to spend a lot of money, right? Just to be able to put yourself in a room to dominate. So I just want to, congratulate because I've been seeing all y'all and talk to every single one of y'all. So just to like, I'm right now, I'm thinking about every one of y'all moments when I seen a tear come off y'all face, and some of y'all was too cool to cry, but y'all probably cried behind closed doors. But just to see y'all moments, I just want to let y'all know I'm proud of it. And so before you get to the skin games, what you want to make sure you do is show that journey. Show everything that led up to it. Show the times that you couldn't even, you was probably somewhere practicing and the kids was over there, or the husband, you had to get to him out the way, whatever it was. Show all of that. Show all of that preparation before you get there. And then show how you get to the room and you start dominating. Then show them you at the finish line, right? And then from the finish line, what are you doing to prepare to grow and scale your business after this, right? A lot of times, what happens is we be like, yo, we won an award. Okay, what's next? No, you keep that energy up the whole time. You keep, hey, I'm the best that I won international. I'm right because that makes you unique. Especially every one of y'all in a different city, a different state, that gives you an edge over your competition. We got competition. No matter what it is that you do, there's somebody out there that do the same thing. But to say, hey, I'm an international award winning, dot, dot, dot. Ooh, what that mean? I don't know what that means, but it sounds good, right? So use that and put it in your content and also show the transformations. I think the biggest thing is show the transformations that you make for your clients. That's what people care the most about. That right there will catapult your personal brand to a whole nother level. And that's why it's okay if you don't show your face, show your clients' faces, show the results. They're like, ooh, before I got this facial, I wasn't feeling good. Now, whoo, I'm glowing, right? If it's the waxing, right? Before this waxing, this cat wasn't purring, but now it's purring, right? Whatever it may be, y'all get what I'm saying. So, but get your clients to talk for you, not just you talking for you, right? The clients talking for you is the most powerful thing. The whole journey is sometimes we just want to show the finish line. But I think the most important thing is the journey,
Mhm.
right? And I love the journey because in that journey, y'all, we be getting our butts beat. We be like, I don't even know how I made it this far yesterday. But that's the biggest thing is just use the content itself to showcase the journey because it's somebody else going through the journey as well, but they don't have no direction. They don't have no guidance. They don't have nobody to push them through, and you become the guidance,
Mhm.
right? So.
Yeah, and the struggles are so relatable too. Those are you don't want to just see somebody happy and perfect. You get disconnected from them.
Yeah.
So,
So that's a big thing, and a lot of times, Taylor, we be scared to show our imperfections, but that's what makes us human.
Mm,
right? When people can see that we going through some, or people can see that we are being challenged, right? We being challenged. It's something we ain't never dealt with. We uncomfortable, and to get through it, what shows your strength. Because if you look at any story in life, it always was somebody that had to overcome it. And the person that overcame it is what we remember the story about. If we think about David and Goliath, whatever it is, we
mm,
remember that story because David had to overcome something. And so, whatever your story is, remember, you always gonna have to overcome something. I don't care if it's in business, I don't care if it's in life, I don't care if it's in motherhood, whatever it is, you're gonna have to overcome it. But guess what? You already have the tools to overcome it.
right.
All right. So I want to thank y'all for letting me come on today.
Yeah.
And I love seeing all y'all. And once again, congratulations. It was an honor to see you guys put in so much work, win so many awards. Like some of y'all kept seeing y'all hit that stage. I'm like,
That'll work out.
wow. Wow. We was running around the room trying to get y'all. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Right. So thank y'all so much. Okay.
So for anybody that's watching the recording, this is Dontel from the King of Content. Follow him on social media. And just one more thing, whether you won an award or not, that's still content, you know? You know, whether like there's still something there. It's not like the end of the story, you won something and that's it. You know, there's ongoing content. But I know Dontel has to hop onto another
Yeah.
call. Thank you so much, and we will
Thank
see
you
you again
guys.
soon. All right, we have Tiffany. Tiffany is very, very, very special to me. Hold on, spotlight her. All right, Miss Tiffany, please introduce yourself to us.
I'm Tiffany Underwood. I'm a licensed esthetician in Vidalia, Georgia. I absolutely love to work on my patients and give them corrective skincare and results. And I have a nonprofit, Tip Tips Chemo Bags, that is near and dear to my heart. And I just firmly believe all the success that I've had with professionally and with my nonprofit and just the trajectory of my career in just 2 short years, I owe 90% of it to the skin games. My first year, I'd only been an esthetician for 5 months, and Holly Brown and Dorian at Dermascope were like, "Hey, we know you have a nonprofit. Why don't you compete in the skin games?" And of course, I was intimidated. I didn't feel adequate, but I knew that I had this nudge and I was just going to go for it. And so, one thing I do encourage you is just to go for it. If you feel the nudge or you feel led to do something, do it. So, I actually won second place for a compassion category, $5,000 for my nonprofit. So, thank you, Skin Games, for that. And that year, when I went, I just knew that I wanted to make the most of that time. You're away from your family. You've spent a lot of time and money, doing these case studies or just videos. You're kind of out of your comfort zone. So I wanted to make the best of it. I was very true to myself and authentic. Just would go up to anyone that would really talk to me, like introduce myself. Brands, I wanted to learn all of their products. How would it fit in my business? Um, so I really felt like it gave me a lot of exposure. I'm trying to think what else,
So
Taylor.
you have been an educator for two Skin Game sponsors since then, and you did something really, really cool this week. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so part of the skin games, I was exposed to a lot of people and exposed to a brand, Factor 5 skincare. And they were like, "Hey, we would love for you to try out this new product for us and create some content." I did. I actually fell in love with the products. I believe in it, and it's really transformed my business. And so much so that they have asked me to be an educator for them. And last night I was helping train a company in Hong Kong. And if you would have told me that I would be doing that 2 years ago, I would never believe it because little me from a town of 10,000, I didn't, think I would be able to do that. So I know full well I would not have met them if it had not been for the skin games.
That's awesome. Yeah, and you saying yes and you showing up and you persevering through, fear and being courageous. So it's a combination. What I hear really is like the mindset makes all the difference. I've seen people attend and it's kind of like a gimme, gimme, gimme. They don't show up to the panels or the lives or anything. They turn in their stuff and then they show up. And it's the more you give, the more you show up, the more you say yes to things, the greater the outcome is. So that's kind of like these th patterns that we can see with all these speakers. Tiffany, do you have any other words of wisdom for anybody looking to maximize their
Uh,
exposure?
Yeah, I would say be a part of the Players Club, the tribe. I feel like I found my industry family, like you, Brenda, Janice, Tanya. Like there are so many, Angel, that I genuinely love, and I feel confident in saying, "Hey, I have this case. Can you help me with something?" So I really feel like you've transformed a community in this industry, and I'm forever grateful for that.
And we love you so
Mhm.
much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we have Ms. Carol. Let me pull
Well,
her up.
hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. When Taylor asked me to do this, I'm like, I don't understand. I don't understand what you want me to say. So by listening to others, now I get it. I get it. So I'm Carol Desarn. I'm one of the international corporate trainers for Pro Cell Therapies, but that's not where I started. My career started many, many years ago. I actually was in the Air Force, just like Dominic. So what that did to create my future in this industry was a lot of discipline. And, being together with other people, being able to get along with people and not feel that people were my competition. Yes, this is a competition. The Skin Games is a huge competition, but you're really not in competition with anyone else other than yourself. So that brings a lot of the stress away because you're not competing with, the Brenda Hogstadts and the Dominics and the Jenna Lees. You're competing with yourself. You're making yourself the best that you can be in your treatment room. I know that a lot of people are really nervous to do something like this. I definitely would be very nervous to compete in something like this, to get on video. A lot of people think that I'm an extrovert and I'm really not. I get, crazy stomach vibes right before I have to speak in front of people. But, it's something that will again grow not only your business, it's going to grow who you are. It's going to get you out of your comfort zone. And when you need to get exposure, you need to stand out. So when I first went to the Skin Games, this is actually my fourth one that I've been to. My first Skin Games, I was actually a guest of Robin Newmark. Thank God she invited me. That was the best experience ever. I'm pretty shy and I don't really talk to a lot of people, don't know a lot of people in the industry unless they work directly with me with ProCell and, permanent makeup because I started in that industry 20 years ago. But Robin introduced me to Stephen and Jennifer and Taylor, and it changed my life as as an educator, as a practitioner, and as a person in all. And when Stephen came on and said, just ask him, he will help you, he will get you exposed, talk to Taylor, he's absolutely true. Year two, I actually did a booth with Robin, and we did a few demos in ProCell, but we just didn't really understand what it would be like to go further. And then we talked to ProCell and we became sponsors. Our first year we were the big one. Is that platinum? I think it's platinum.
Diamond.
Um, and we really didn't know what to do. We didn't take full advantage of everything. We didn't even sponsor our players because we didn't really understand what that meant. It took me 3 years to figure that out. And last year we took the Skin Games by the horns. And I say that for Dallas. We took it by the horns and we ran with it. And let me tell you, we had so many players, not all of them, finished, not all of them showed up, but the ones that did come in as a player for ProCell, it wasn't just for ProCell, it was for them. The stories that they told us, how, they expanded and they were able to, look at other skincare lines and add different things because they wanted to do more, more, more. And then with the mentorship that we had with Dominic, priceless, absolutely priceless. Her courses, how to do the videos, how to do everything else that needs to be done, follow the rules. Because the year before we had players in the top 10, but none on stage. So we're like, okay, what did we not do? We didn't know what we were doing. Our players didn't know what they were doing. So last year we had every single one of our players hitting the top 10. And of course, we had Jenna Lee, Esthetician of the Year, 6 out of 7 case studies. She used ProCell along with other skincare lines that are also sponsors for the Skin Games. So if you are out there listening and you're not a player or you're thinking about not being a player, do this for yourself. Don't just do it to win. Your clients, you need to have exposure for your clients to know that you are in this to learn more, to bring better treatments, better protocols, better products into your practice for them.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I wanted to ask you because I saw that first year, 2 years ago, I saw your mind working at the end of it. You're like, how can we do better? How can we get more exposure? How can we get more of what we're looking for? And and the pivot. The pivot that you made resulted in 100% of what you were looking for,
Yeah.
and probably more. And so I believe like that thought process and whatever you did, whatever that change was, I guess it was partly strategic, but you also had Zooms and meetings. And afterwards, you had like even during the event, everybody had like these pink Pro Cell shirts on and pictures. And those are the sorts of things that are gonna gain exposure and people are going to be paying attention to and curious and they might even feel like they're missing out and they want to be a part of it.
Yeah, we have weekly meetups with all of our players. Not only do we give them the products, we have events throughout the year for them. They have the mentorship, they have, more protocol trainings. So we have a lot that we get involved with our players. And the reason I wanted to what got me involved this big was walking up to Dominic when she got off that stage the year she won. And I said, I want a winner. She said, then you need to be a sponsor. And that's all it took. And then after she won, Jenna Lee called me on the phone and she said, I want to be a winner and I want ProCell. So we got her ProCell.
Well, to
And
clarify, to be a winner, you don't need to be a sponsor. Dominic
no,
sponsored by anybody, any sponsors,
she
I
just
don't think
meant you
so.
needed to be more involved.
Yes, yes, yes. Just to
Involved. Yes.
clarify.
Yes. No,
We don't
yes.
want
You don't
any
need a
rumors.
sponsor, but you need to become more involved and be out there as a name.
Yeah. Do you have any cool stories of competitors that have gained a lot of exposure through using ProCell competing? Like, do you have any cool before and after stories? If you,
Um, I'll talk about Brenda. Brenda,
yeah.
the year before she was only waxing, and I met Brenda, and I hate to say it, outside. We won't say what we were doing outside. But I met Brenda outside, and she's like, I really want to be in the skin side. So she went from waxing to skin, and her and I got together and we got her more involved on the skin side. And then look at her, 2 years in a row, Spirit Award. She is out there on social media everywhere, everywhere. If you don't know who Brenda is, you don't even turn your computer on. So Brenda is definitely a person that really needs to be watched because she's coming. And she's been there, but she's coming for more. And she's actually now one of our trainers.
Wow. That's incredible. Well, thank you so much, Carol. I just love that story and it just gets me so inspired. I really appreciate you taking time today and thank you. I will remove spotlight and our
Taylor, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt. It's Brenda. You guys
Hey,
literally
we
have
have
me in
She's
tears.
crying.
I'm crying, I know. And like my client, I'm doing her eyebrows right now, and she goes, and she's doing a client right now because I'm listening to you guys. So my client was like wanting to say hi too.
Hi, client. You're in very good hands. You're very lucky.
Love you guys. I love you guys. Sorry.
Oh.
That's great.
All right, we have the very beautiful, glamorous mentor of the year. Spotlight for everyone, Chelsea Osland.
Hey guys, thanks so much for that introduction, Taylor. Very sweet. So everyone that doesn't know me, I'm Chelsea Osland. I've been a licensed esthetician for 17 years now. Feels like a really long time. I have been involved in the skin games. I think it was either 2017 or 18, I think was my first year being a player. And since then, I've become a judge and now, mentor of the year. So originally, I think I came for the trophies, I came for the transformation, and then, being invited back to be a judge, three times is I'm very humbled by that. And, that's really what kept me involved and, kept me being part of the Skin Games family. And then, along the way, it's kind of like I accidentally built a legacy. Winning Mentor of the Year was meant more to me than, had I my other wins, as a player for myself. So that was a pretty incredible time for me. I think that when it comes to the Skin Games, we should look at it as a lot more than a competition. I think that it is that, and it's fun to compete. But it really can be, a platform and a mirror. It reflects back to us how we learn, how we lead, and how we show up. And I tell my staff all the time that in order to set goals, that a GPS kind of works off of, yes, you need to know where you're going, but you need to know where you're at, in order to position yourself to get to the success points. Um, and I think as far as it goes for being a judge, which was a whole different dynamic from playing, it's important for us to remember that we're not just scoring, that we're shaping the future of our industry. And I have loved connecting with players since, after judging, of course, and then meeting them and diving deep into what their case studies were about. And, I've provided some additional support with people, but I've also gotten support from some of those players as well. Jennifer Mills, for example, I took her microneedling class recently. So these are really great opportunities to connect with people, especially as a judge, being able to see such great talent. It's awesome to be able to reach out to these people and learn more and connect and network in that way. I don't know how many people know, my story, but it was a couple years ago that I left a very, very comfortable six-figure position with a business partner, and I had to uproot everything in order to make my dreams come true. And it was a very scary time for me. And I found so much solace and confidence from having a community like the Skin Games to fall back on, to know that I mean more to people and to have people that I can reach out to was huge for me. So I am eternally grateful to everyone in the Skin Games community for that. Whether you knew that whether you knew that you meant that to me or not. Um, I think, as I mentioned before, um, being a mentor now and having jumped from my previous business partnership to having my own business and being a solo founder and owner. I have a team, and with my staff, many of them came and played in the Skin Games, and it's something that I really pushed them to do, and they were so scared and they did so well. And watching them win just meant so much more to me than any trophy I had won as a player. And it was an incredible moment. And I could cry now, and everyone saw me cry on that stage. It was so empowering for me to have empowered them. And it's just definitely a moment that I'll probably never forget that, to be quite honest. And there's so many opportunities that I think that we maybe don't make maximize when we're involved in the skin games. And just some of the things that I've done since then, other than mentoring a pretty awesome team, is having been asked to teach at schools, our local vocational center. Now that they know that not only am I a former winner of the skin games, and now knowing that all of my staff is as well, and that I've won mentor of the year, they have asked us to come back and help to teach some of the kids some different things. And it's really cool to do that, but it's also a recruiting opportunity, because these kids that are going to be licensed, they're going to want to work somewhere where they think that they could have a strong foundation to build their careers in their future. So that's been an awesome opportunity for us as well. And then some of them that are able to, you can even get reception help from that too, which is pretty awesome, and kind of be able to field your new hires through that process. I've also helped to connect the school to some of the CEOs of different companies and educators from different companies that I've met in order to facilitate advanced education for the students, which just helps to make them more desirable hires for when they are starting on their career too. I think I forget who else mentioned this as well, but for us, it's been a huge benefit being involved in the skin games. And I love that my staff has seen this since participating and winning, that it's also a journey for our clients, which is so cool. They every year, especially because I've been doing it for so many years now, they're like, isn't the skin games coming up? What are you going to wear? Who's working on what? Like, do you have pictures yet? Show us before and afters. So it's helped us to upgrade our clients as far as selling packages to them. They know that we have, the protocols, or, the secret recipes to create these transformations. And it's they want to see transformations, right? That's why they come to us. So for us to be able to show them, the proof that's in that pudding of what to expect and anticipate after going through a program with us, just helps solidify that trust, and keep them with us. It's so essentially retention has been a really good aspect of having those before and afters, and it just keeps us relevant, keeps them happy, watching us grow and watching all the successes, and they love it. It's been really fun. It's also been mentioned before, doing press releases. There can be, good and bad luck with that, but it doesn't mean don't do it. So definitely make yourself a press release, whether even if you're a finalist. To me, I told a couple of my girls didn't place, but they were finalists. I'm like, you still left with a trophy. You're still a winner. It took a lot to get to that point. So we created press releases. We sent them out to all of the local news stations and newspapers and small little, county-wide little papers as well. And if it's not covered, just promote it yourself. So we created a press release. We went and had a photo shoot done of all of our team with the trophies after winning. I had individuals done with everyone and as a team, because it just makes us look so good that everyone here is a winner together. And we put those on social media. We'll sent them out an email blast to our clients. So again, it just solidifies that trust and helps with retention, and then also referrals, because if their friend goes to another local spa or med spa, which, we know they're everywhere. Well, did they win awards? What's this about? Look how cute they are, all these great things. So that's been a really helpful and cool part of being involved in the skin games too. Um, let's see. I think that, overall it's definitely been a legacy building opportunity for me most. I didn't realize that I would become a mentor. I mean, so many years ago, having starting a salon and spa, and then now just focusing on spa, now becoming a med spa. I had to grow this team of people, and, it's my job to empower them and educate them, and have taught them to be amazing technical estheticians. And then having them go into the skin games and support them and show them that they're talented and what they're worth, has been an awesome journey to go through, but the biggest impact for me was realizing that that is my legacy, is them and my ability to mentor people that are becoming not just average estheticians, but six-figure award-winning estheticians. And trophies fade and titles evolve, and as mine has with the Skin Games. But I think the biggest part of it is, what all of us have mentioned throughout this call is that it's really about the version of us that comes out on the other side. That's the real win, right? I mean, we learn so much about ourselves and um, get to network and build community. And what's better than that? You know, I'm so grateful for the Skin Games.
I love that, Chelsea. It's such a inspiring, compassionate, but also practical take on everything. Because what is most of our a lot of people have different reasons for competing. Sometimes they're competing to, just win. Other people want to prove something to themselves. But a lot of people want to build clientele and exposure and that sort of thing. And it's so smart. You're utilizing your awards, your accolades, your legacy, your before and afters, all these things to help you to gain what you're looking for. And it evolves into so much more as well. I did kind of want to talk about, I'm going to invite Kelly up here as well. Thank you so much, Chelsea. That was amazing. And I have this feeling that there's going to be something really incredible. And next year, you're going to be doing the same thing, and there's going to be something even bigger. You're going to have like 3 locations or something.
I'm hoping, girl. I'm hoping.
It's going to be amazing. All right, I'm going
Thanks,
to
Taylor.
pull up Kelly real quick. All right. Hold on one second. Okay, so something I did really want to talk about is the press releases. And as Chelsea mentioned, there are it's not always successful, but why not try? So the Skin Games actually has press release forms that Kelly has helped create. And so she will give you access to that. If you want them, email Kelly at theskingames.com. She'll tell you a little bit more about that right now.
So it's generic template. It's copy that highlights, what a little bit about what the Skin Games is and what your participation in it was, is, and will be, and just change it to whatever you want to change it to. You can customize it. You can put in your own logo. You can do all that kind of fun stuff. What I did is for the Skin Games was I sent it to my local papers. I sent it to all of the local magazines. We have an Atlanta magazine. We have this, we have that. I sent it to the news stations. I know, Tiffany, you were featured on some things. So it just kind of gives you the basics of what a press release looks like, what they're looking for, and as far as news agencies, what they're looking for in the content. And like I said, just customize it to your specific situation. And if you need help with anything, I'll help you out. No, not a problem. We're all here.
And kind of what Don tells, so sometimes they don't get accepted. And I feel that
Yes.
maybe we have to help create a story, like Dontel had said, like, how do we talk about what we've overcome and make it a story that they want to? I mean, it is very significant, but they might not understand that. So rephrasing it or posing it in a way that you're telling a story, what did you overcome to get to this point? How does this impact the community? And I believe I've seen at least 15 different press releases over the year, some really incredible ones. And I recommend that people try, and use resources if you have connections. Just try. You never know what's going to happen. Kind of as a conclusion of all this, I think, competing, your exposure is going to really be reflected by your mindset, a positive mindset, an ambitious mindset, content or no content, people have 2 different ways of doing things. Kelly, what is your main takeaway of this, of the maximizing exposure?
I think that to realize that it doesn't just end when it's not just the live event, and it doesn't end when the live event is over. It's a year-long thing. And once you have been part of the Skin Games family, you don't have to play every year. You don't have to judge every year to participate and be and stay in this supportive environment. That's somebody asked me, I went to Mecca this last weekend, and somebody said, I can still come if I'm not playing, right? And I said, absolutely. Absolutely. It's not just for players. It's not just for judges. It's not, we're here to be a collaborative, uplifting community, but we also want to elevate our industry. And I think we need us collectively to do that. I tried to get statistics because it's kind of what I love, numbers. Dominic does too. She loves numbers too. I tried to get statistics about how many licensed beauty professionals there are in the world because we are an international competition, and I couldn't. They just said it was likely millions. So we have a couple of hundred competitors out of millions of licensed professionals. So you are the top 1% in the industry, putting yourself out there and, showcasing what you have to offer the industry and people. And that's important. It's very, very important. We are a very intimate, a peripheral part of our clients' lives in a very intimate way. And we know things that about them that they don't tell, most of their people. So that's an honor and a privilege and something that we don't want to abuse. So always become better. That's my motto, be better. And in order to do that, you need people that want to help you be better. And that's what we do.
Yeah, definitely. Really the sky is the limit. Suit up, show up, do your best, be kind, be friendly, make connections, and you don't know what's going to happen. But it will be incredible, I'm sure. And that really makes the difference between people that have a great success, whether they get accolades or not, and then people that that don't necessarily get all those things. So this ended up a little shorter. I thought it was going to go to 7:30. If anybody wants to ask questions, you're welcome to. Otherwise, we can end the Zoom. All right. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to put this up on Zoom and share it for the community. And our next one is going to be next month. So we're going to go back to monthly Zooms, and it's about creating viral content with 4 influencers. So I think that'll be great. Thank you for participating in the Players Club. You guys get these roundtables in person, and then the recording will be available for everybody else on YouTube within the week. So thank you, everybody, for making time for us and this information.
Thank you.